31-yard line. 1st and 10 for Lawson. Under 2 minutes to play in our third quarter. And the Cardinals are driving. Play clock is down to 1. And they won't get it off. Delay of game. Well, that's frustrating there. You pick up the big 4th down conversion, then all of a sudden delay of game.
It pushes back now, 1st and 15, getting you out of the red zone as we hear the call.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards, previous spot. Repeat, 1st down.
Shoot yourself in the foot.
It's a 1st and 15 here in the third quarter with 1:47 to go.
Here you see the penalties. Lawson 2 for 20 yards in the game. Blair Oaks 3 for 39. Lawson had one big one there, though, at the end of the first half. Now Blair Oaks continue down the field on their drive.
Cass and avoid out of the pocket and brought down. Calvin Wilbers of Blair Oaks.
I'll tell you, he had Troy Green. He had no chance to go anywhere with the football, but he had Troy Green wide open going for the corner. Couldn't see him. Again, just trying to set up in the pocket, not in any time. Coverage that time. And also good penetration and pressure by the front 4.
Wilbers, a 5'10", 220-pound senior. 2nd and 14. Cass and avoid, feeling heat. They set up the screen. This is Troy Green, and he is walloped. What a hit by Kyle Hankey. But Green, a nice pickup for the Cardinals.
Oh, they set that up perfect. The blitz was coming off the corner. They felt it, and that time again, you see the Cass and avoid. The quarterback just rolls to his right. He knows the blitz is coming. Now the throwback, but watch the hit by Hankey. I'm telling you what, folks, this is what you call getting lit up. That's a bone-rattling tackle.
Pickup of 9 on the play. 3rd down and 5. Nice hit. And the give goes to Swartz. Swartz around the corner, across the 20, and a 1st down.
Yeah, they run the counter play that time, but also, you know, threw the key block on that was Cass and avoid, the cornerback. Off the edge.
So the end of the third quarter. 4th quarter, when we come back, Lawson driving. They have the lead. They picked up the 1st down. It's 21-17.
It's true. The only time we think about electricity is when the power goes out. Then every minute seems like an eternity. Luckily, as a member of a Touchdown Energy cooperative in Missouri, the people working on our behalf have the training, high-tech resources, and motivation to restore power as quickly and as safely as humanly possible. See what I mean? When it comes to electricity, you know you have an outstanding team working for you when you hardly notice them at all.
Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe.
Would it be okay if I sat here?
Is she serious? Whatever. New girl.
Yes, words can't bring me down.
Reaching out. Pass it on.
So don't you bring me
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
High school activities in Missouri.
They add self-confidence and teach responsibility.
They teach fair play and respect.
They support our educational mission.
1, 2, 3. They reward hard work and focus on teams.
They challenge me to strive for excellence and support others.
And most importantly, they're fun.
This message provided by the 760 member schools of the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
Start of the 4th quarter here on FSM Midwest. Lawson leading Blair Oaks 21-17. And after all kinds of scoring in the first 2 quarters, 0 points put up in that third quarter.
Yeah, and here we're just going to run the counter play out here. And I tell you, Swartz should have stayed inside. He doesn't, but an excellent block by Cass and avoid on the outside to make this a good play. Take a look at it. This should have just gone right inside of that guard and tackle pull, and he stays outside. And look at the block by Cass and avoid. That's what gives the edge to Swartz, who's able to pick up the 1st down.
First 2 possessions for Lawson in this game resulted in touchdowns, then an interception, then a touchdown, a punt, and a question mark on this drive. They're 6th of the game. Let's see what happens. They are driving 1st and 10, ball on the 19. Up the gut, Noblet inside the 15. Noblet with 3 touchdowns in the first half of play in this state title game.
Yeah, just take a look at the left guard this time, number 68, Jordan. Look at the kick out block. Now, I love the way Noblet just hesitates a little bit. Then he follows his left tackle, number 75, through the hole. Bright, the center, John Bright. Excellent job in the game.
Pickup of 6, 2nd and 4. Ball on the 13. Noblet again up the middle. Near first down.
Number 40, Singer, in on the play also, too. Number 78.
And Noblet short of that first down marker. There's Michael Singer, the 6-foot senior for the Falcons of Blair Oaks.
Making all the calls to his defense. Coach Dunn for Lawson on the sidelines right now, knowing he needs to get points on this drive.
Cassinavoid in the shotgun. Keeps it himself. Gets a block, and he can just walk in. Touchdown for Cassinavoid. 11-yard touchdown run.
I'll tell you what, misdirection in the backfield, but the athleticism of all 6'6" Cassinavoid, able to just elude people, dance in the open field for the touchdown. Watch the missed handoff there. Now he keeps it. Look at the move on number 1, Justin Eichen. Justin, retape your ankles on that one, young fella.
10 plays, 57 yards. It took 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Cassinavoid, 11-yard touchdown run for the Cardinals. Adds to their lead. Extra point is good. Cassinavoid, a huge afternoon for the Lawson Cardinals, trying to stay undefeated and win the state championship. They're on their way. They lead at 28-17.
Sunday nights, only on FSN. Be there for the show that breaks down the new BCS standings. The official BCS rating show, exclusively on FSN. Find out who's moving up, who's moving out, and who's moving on towards a berth in a BCS bowl game. Get the numbers as soon as they break. The official BCS rating show, Sunday on FSN.
Everybody needs a helping hand. Take a look at your fellow man and tell me what can I do today.
Hey, let me get that for you.
Everybody needs a helping out. If that ain't what it's all about, tell me what.
Thank you, young man.
What can I
No problem.
What can I do today?
Courtesy. Pass it on.
I got it.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
The first case of HIV/AIDS was identified 25 years ago. Since then, 25 million people have died.
5,000 people die daily.
So why should I care?
Because of the future.
Because of friends.
Because of strangers.
People are still dying.
Because every voice,
every person.
Effort brings us that much closer.
So, why?
Why? Why should I care? Because I do. Join the fight.
28-17. Lawson with the lead. This week on Sports Science, critics are calling it the coolest show on television. We'll tell you about that momentarily. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Yeah, just watch the action of the guards pulling over here. This is what the linebackers are going to see. You've got the fake handoff. You've got the end coming around. And this quarterback right here, good job Casanavoid of hiding the ball. Watch it. A lot of misdirection. See the linebackers flow. And then Pet's on the outside. Watch the block. Almost a block in the back. There is no way Eichen is going to be able to bring down all 6'6" of Casanavoid once number 16 gets in the open field.
On Sports Science, they will reveal the hidden mysteries of sports like you've never seen before. Sports Science investigates sports myths. And that is a Sunday at 11. And it's only here on FSN Midwest. Sports Science. Richard Baldinger, Dan McLaughlin with you. Glad to have you with us. Game one of our triple header. Lawson trying to win their first ever state championship. 10:34 to go.
Blair Oaks has had their backs against the wall right now, looking to repeat here right now. Lawson controlling the ball in the second half. Turnovers costly for Blair Oaks.
Fielded at the 12. To the outside it goes, and they wrap him up as Eichen was trying to push it outside.
As you're seeing from Lawson right now, they're just flying around on the field. Special team, defense, whole attitude has changed really since about the middle of the second quarter. You see switch, see some confidence building. Hey, they can play with these guys, Blair Oaks. They've been controlling the tempo of the game.
It's a big drive here for Blair Oaks, as Eichen's numbers very impressive. 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. But we knew that coming in. He had thrown 16 touchdowns, thrown for 16 touchdowns, and he had 13 picks. Eichen to throw the football, and they'll swing it out to the left side. Sheichels, and a loose ball again. Recovered by the Cardinals.
Had the ball in the open field, able to make a play, and he just loses this.
Yeah, just dropped it.
He just dropped it, just running. And I mean, he looks like he's thinking about what he wants to do.
This is Sheichels here.
And he just never had control of the football. He's looking downfield. Loses control of it. And again, a turnover. Lawson getting the ball on the 15-yard line. Blair Oaks, the wheels are falling off real quick here in the second half.
Blair Oaks started the season ranked #1 in the state. But after 2 losses to Class 3 teams, dropped to number 6. 10:20 left in this ball game here in the fourth quarter. So Lawson with the lead of 28-17. And on this drive right here, Richard, as they'll take over with great field position, obviously, it's a chance to really seal this win.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to want to punch points in here real quick. And again, their ability to create turnovers. But on that one, just a simple fumble. Got to put the ball away before you begin to think about what you're going to do going downfield.
Fans, you can order team photos, action photos, and other mementos of the 2007 Show Me Bowl by visiting Columbia Photo, the official photographer of the Misha Championships. Visit columbiaphoto.com. Short gain on that play for the Cardinals. For Blair Oaks, to take a look at their last 5 drives, they've had an interception and 2 fumbles, rather 2 INTs and 2 fumbles, in 4 of the last 5.
Exactly. You're not going to be very constructive on offense when you're doing that. Right now, you can just kind of see the demeanor of the players. It almost, you know, the frustration levels rising. Haven't been able to really get any type of rhythm in this offense after about the first quarter of this game.
2nd down and 9. Up the middle. Noblet inside the 15.
Noblet just leaning forward and carrying a wave of green behind him. Leg drive, good pad level. Pounding away at the defense. Take a look at Noblet just taking the ball. Little fullback trap, and look at that. Just keep the pads going, keep the legs going, carrying 3 and 4 people at a time.
3rd and 3.
Power football at its best.
Casanavoid will work from the shotgun here. Wants to throw, hits his tight end over the middle. That's a touchdown. A touchdown for the Lawson Cardinals. And that one may have put this game out of reach. The reception by Troy Green, his tight end.
His audible at the line of scrimmage. You can see it. He makes the change, sees the defense, sees what he wants, and he goes and finds Troy Green, his tight end. Excellent delivery, putting it out there so he allows his receiver to stay in stride. Touchdown for Lawson.
And Troy Green will attempt the extra point. He's been perfect so far today. Boots it through. 35-17. Lawson leading Blair Oaks. 3 plays, 21 yards, a minute 22. Costly turnovers have led to scores for Lawson.
Take a look at this again. Going to have a blitz coming through the middle here, and he sees single coverage, and he knows if he gets his tight end out inside here, he's going to have a chance on a quick throw for the touchdown. Take a look at it. Let it run. Excellent read, and again, like the way his tight end goes and beats out on the outside, and that's number 44, Schickles. I'm not really sure what he was doing there. He had the tight end and didn't really kind of wrap him up. Looked like he was going for a definitely hit. And just missed. Got a lot of hot air on that play.
3 plays, 21 yards. Troy Green with the 13-yard touchdown reception. Troy Green will kick it away for the Cardinals. 3 touchdowns off of turnovers for Lawson on the afternoon. Green, a deep kick. Touchback. The crowd gets into it when Troy Green gets into it.
I'll tell you what, he does get into it, doesn't he? Puts that ball down in cleats landing, I think, most of the time.
He's pounding the football. Well, this is game 1 of our triple header of the championship games on FSM Midwest in the state of Missouri. Lawson with a lead of 35-17 with 8:58 to play.
And now it's going to become a one-dimensional game for Blair Oaks, as they're going to have to go vertical with this football.
Eichen, low snap to the sideline, and it's another fumble. And picked up again by the Cardinals. The Cardinals, Logan Petz, picked it up.
And that's exactly the difference in the half, and Coach Dunn had talked about that at halftime. We've got to continue to tackle even better. But how about Petz? You talk about a perfect form tackle, driving his legs, shoulder pads through, just a quick out. They're going to give these up all day long. But again, watch Petz come up, deliver the hit, shoulder pad. I'm not sure if he had control of that ball, but again, they make the decision on the field. We don't have replay here in high school. I wasn't sure if Otto really had control of that ball.
And the Cardinals, again with great field position because of the turnover. And they can just afford to run the football and run this clock down. Ian Swartz with the carry. Under 9 minutes to play.
And you're seeing that defense right now for Blair Oaks beginning to tire, some arm tackling. Like Swartz was stopped in the backfield, was able still, though, to get a couple yards. All levels, turnovers. That's the difference maker between winning and losing. And Lawson able to take advantage of and put points on the board.
Lawson can afford to let that play clock go down to single digits, and they do. Diving ahead, Noblet. Noblet, by the way, was closing in on a 1,000-yard season. He was 76 yards short of 1,000 for a senior campaign coming into play today.
The fullback trap has been so effective today in terms of being able to get that kick-out block. We've talked about him a lot. Nick Jordan, the left guard, able to pull, make the kick out on the defensive tackle. Noblet, good job of reading it up inside for the first down. Good yardage on the play, excuse me.
Noblet with 43 yards today. Play clock to 2. Again, Noblet inside the 10, another first down.
Big boys up front now, just getting pushed, grinding it out. Take a look at the front side here. Excellent job by the center and also the left guard. Look at Bright. And then how about Noblet? Some good nimbleness in the hole, seeing that nothing inside, is able to keep his shoulder pad square to the line of scrimmage so he can make the cut, pick up the first down.
Taking time off the clock. Just over 7 minutes to go in the state title game, Class 2 here in Missouri. Noblet hit hard at the 5. And on the stop was Michael Singer. Noblet trying to pick up his 4th touchdown of the afternoon, and Lawson trying to pick up their 4th touchdown after a turnover.
Lawson came in here first quarter of the game. It looked like they were really struggling in terms of the speed of the game, struggling in terms of getting any type of rhythm, but pretty much took over from the middle of the second quarter, and they haven't let go of the momentum since.
Red zone offense. Lawson 5 of 5. 5 touchdowns inside the red zone. 2nd and goal. The ball on the 5. Another big time hit. Consecutive plays by Michael Singer. It's the senior linebacker for Blair Oaks.
He reads that guard pulling away. He stepped up inside the hole. Watch Singer, number 40. He sees the guard Jordan pull. He's going to go up inside, and that's what you call a form tackle, man. Explode through on that.
Lawson very good in these spots today. 3rd down conversions. They're 12 of 15.
Taking as much time off the clock as possible. See the effectiveness of that wing T. So many different angles, so many people touch the football. So difficult to always be able to keep your eye on where the ball's going to.
And a timeout taken by Lawson as they let the clock tick down to 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. The state title game. On the doorstep again, 35-17. Lawson on top.
Your typical well-built home. Or is it? Under infrared, you can see it can be a sieve for energy. At the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives of Missouri, we've got hundreds of things you can do to increase energy efficiency. From the Johnson's new heat pump, to the Walker family's programmable thermostat, to the Pearson's energy-efficient light bulbs. Whether the energy-saving device is high-tech or low, there's something all of us can and should do to help. We're all in this together.
You expect more from Missouri Cotton Exchange for work, for play, for support. You expect more from Missouri Cotton Exchange, and you've been getting it since 1971.
Longest sellout streak in NCAA history, Nebraska football. They say it's sold out, so where do you get tickets? TicketExpress.com. Get tickets on the 50 or in the club level to any Nebraska home or away football game. Ticket Express is your nationwide ticket source for all college and NFL football games. Order by phone or online. Call this toll-free 800 number or go to TicketExpress.com. Ticket Express, where no event is ever sold out.
The 2007 Show Me Bowl on FSN Midwest is brought to you by Touchstone. Football players are part of our co-op, and Touchstone is tapping into the power of human connections. And coming August 2008, it's the 7th Annual State Sportsmanship Summit, presented by Misha, keeping respect in interscholastic sports.
Blair Oaks, they trail in this game, but Michael Singer still playing hard.
Yeah, he is. You talk about guys being competitive and fighting to the very end. Take a look at red zone defense. Here's your middle linebacker. He's reading these guards going, and watch him go in and watch the nimbleness in terms of avoiding traffic, keeping your shoulder pads down, your hips down. Now the bone-crushing hit. Here's a guy who's playing all 48 minutes. You like to see it on defense.
3rd and goal. Ball rests on the 5. Gas in the void, and the Lawson Cardinals. Stays on his feet, but then tackled at the 3. So 4th down coming up.
And Brandon Otto, number 13, he's slow to get up off the ground. He was one of the people who got upfield. Grabbed the jersey that time of Casson Avoid. He got carried. Felt like he just grabbed onto a Mack truck heading down I-70 on that play.
Attempt the field goal here. .22-yard field goal attempt. The big leg of Troy Green. Chip shot for him, and he puts it through. 38-17, Lawson. Let's check in again with Jim Hayes.
Dan, there are a lot of Lawson fans that made the trip to St. Louis, among them Joe Casnavoid's sister, Jasmine. So far, so good, I guess, from your perspective for today's game.
Yeah, they're going really good. They played really, really good. They're impressing everybody out here.
Your brother is having a big game as well. What a competitor. What's he like off the field?
He's fun, but mean. He's been really waiting for this. He really wanted it. He's really a good help at the house. He's pretty good.
Fun but mean. He's having a big game. Thanks for the time. Dan, we'll go back to you. Fun but mean. It sounds like you, Dan.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. Sounds like most households. Anybody that's got brothers and sisters.
Exactly right.
Give me a break.
But he
Not just
jumped
me.
on you quickly there, though.
Don't listen to him.
I was just wondering what it was all about, but I guess if you watch Casson Avoid run with the football, you see why he's mean. You can hear the pads popping.
See, if you work with Jim on a daily basis, yeah, you start to understand Jim.
That's why it's safe being over in Kansas City. 250 miles that way further west, and there will be a big game tomorrow night, young fella. There will be a big game. There will be a big game.
There's Jasmine. Now she's gonna get
mean.
Now she's going to start getting the text messages and all the phone calls. Brother has been very good today, to say the least.
The first thing she threw out, though, is that he's mean. I'm wondering what he's like around the house if he doesn't get his dinner, huh?
Well, I'm sure they're not going to worry about it today. He's played very well. Another touchback. Nothing new in this game from Troy Green. Nice but mean. Is that Joe Goldberg? Let's send it back to the studio.
It's fun and mean. Let's be correct here. All right, guys. Coming up in between games, we'll analyze this and preview the Class 4 game. Parkway Central taking on Lee's Summit West. We'll be here all day. But for now, let's go back to fun. Which one is fun and which one is mean? Richard's got to be fun, and Dan, you're fun too.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not nice, but it's fun.
It's coming from the sidelines and now the studio.
That's all right. Well, you know.
Trying to find
Just
out
got to
the
deal
scoop.
with it.
Just trying to find out the scoop. What's going on?
Lawson with a lead of 38-17. And again, another fumble. And the Cardinals pick it up. This time, Matt Emery. Boy, this is hard to believe. Was it 6 turnovers? 6 turnovers by Blair Oaks.
Eichen on the fumble.
It's 3 fumbles in a row following the interception.
That's just being a great hit. Was that Petz who got his helmet right on the football, looks like. And Eichen has to be better in terms of wrapping up the ball. Looked like it was Petz number 10.
6 turnovers. And they've had a field goal on their 5th possession, but on 6, 7, 8, and 9, the possessions for Blair Oaks resulted in interception and a fumble. 4 fumbles in a row.
Difficult to win at any level with 6 turnovers.
Rather 3 fumbles in a row, that's right. And 6 turnovers, and all of a sudden Lawson is cruising now to a victory in their first ever state title in football.
And you can just see it here. It started the second half after that first turnover. It just kind of wheels came off the cart and they lost their confidence.
Stay with us all day long. It's our live coverage of the Missouri High School Football Championships. Class 4 game, Parkway Central, Lee Summit West. That's coming up next. And then we've got the Class 6 game, Melville and Rockhurst. We are proud to partner with Misha to bring you more than 9 hours of live coverage of the Show Me Bowl here on FSN Midwest.
And that Class 6, we're going to see 2 good quarterbacks there, too. For Rockhurst, Nathan Shieldhouse. Somebody who can improvise on the field.
Parkway Central, 12.
All of these stocks have been
Up in 92 and 97. And Lee Summit West, they're 13-0, undefeated so far in their first title game appearance. Semifinalists in 05 and 06. That's coming up next. The big game, you've got Melville 10-2. And the 15th playoff appearance for Melville, 5th since 02. They were runner-ups in 1994, state champs in 1999. Ironically enough, they defeated Rockhurst in that game. Rockhurst, no stranger to championships. 30th playoff appearance, 7 state titles, and their most recent was 2002. They've had 3 undefeated state championships in their history, and they are 12-0 this season.
You can see the younger brother, Drew Temple, in this game, also for Rockhurst.
Tony Temple, of course, plays for Missouri. Their starting tailback, wrapping up, making the play. Justin Eichen, the tackle. Egan Schwartz is brought down with the 4:03 to play.
That'll be interesting too, is if Tony Temple gets an extra year, comes back. He's awarded the extra year and have both Temples in the backfield. That would be the Temple of Doom.
Good to see that. 4:03 to play. And a timeout taken by Blair Oaks.
When we really, started out this game with Otto, was able just to be able to just push down the field, some big touchdowns. You thought Blair Oaks was on a roll. And again, they took him out of the game. The running game kind of disappeared, and then Lawson able just to control the clock with their offense of both running and passing. Castonavoid has really impressed me today with what his ability in terms of be able to create on the field. When it looks like things are breaking down, step outside, scramble, make a big play.
6 turnovers by Blair Oaks this afternoon, ties for the most, 5th most in Show Me Bowl history. 5th most in Show Me Bowl history, the 6 turnovers by Blair Oaks. 4:03 to play, and that's really the difference in this game.
It's the difference in any game at any level. You just can't come back, and when your offense has been struggling and not being able to get vertically with the football, it makes it very difficult. And what happens then, confidence begins to wane, and you can see that happen for Blair Oaks here in the second half.
3rd down and 9. Man in motion is Deerduff. And 2 players collide from the same team, but they're going to say that's pass interference on the play. It was Troy Green. Like he was tied up with Pets, but you got to wonder if one of those players was pushed into each other by the defender.
He's trying a little throwback, and I'll tell you what, this is a train wreck. I'm not sure where the interference is coming from.
I think we just had 2 offensive players collide with each other.
It might just be a penalty for just an ugly play.
I believe that is the right call for putting the flag back in the pocket. Brings up a 4th down and 9 for Lawson.
A headache.
Just 2 players colliding. Already seen a pooch kick by Castonavoid. Little option play. Flips it out to Deerduff, and he is driven out of bounds. And Blair Oaks will take over with 3:52 to play.
And the one thing you'd like to see out of Blair Oaks, their defenses continue to play hard. Starting some really tough positions here in the second half in terms of field position. But still, you see guys running around, Eichen making plays, Singer making plays, competitive till the end.
Parkway Central, Lee Summit West coming up. We'll take you back to the studio. .352 to go, 1st and 10. With the ball on the 31 for Blair Oaks. They turned the ball over 6 times. Eichen to throw the football. And they turned it over for the 7th time. An interception. Robinson. And this is hard to believe. Nathan Robinson with the interception and the 7th turnover by Blair Oaks in the state title game. It's turning into a nightmare.
Yeah, this just goes right through his receiver's hand. Matt Flowey, number 80. I mean, hits your receivers in the hands. You have to make the catch. And again, also, all of the snaps here in the second half have been rolling back. Eichen's having to be able to dig the ball out of the ground, and makes the throw. 7 turnovers.
It's the third most in Show Me Bowl history, those 7 turnovers.
That might be the most in any game, I think.
So 3:45 to go. And the Cardinals can just run the football and run down the clock.
He has been a machine here all day long.
It's David Noblet.
Number 32. They've had no answer for him at all. Take a look at it again. That's just what we call that trap. We've been seeing it all day long. Jordan pulling and kicking out. Noblet just staying behind. And again, look at the yards after contact. You like the leg drive, pad level. In a field day, a track day for Noblet.
Under 3.5, 7 turnovers, tied third most in Show Me Bowl history for Blair Oaks in game 1 of our tripleheader. And a timeout taken. And this one is taken by Lawson. And you wonder if the timeout was taken to get different players in, possibly.
No, without a doubt, trying to get as many kids out here on the field to play today. Be a game, as I said, you remember forever. And we thought we had a good one here after the halftime, but again, the turnovers just played in. They just kind of cascaded upon themselves, and you could just see the confidence that just went out of Blair Oaks here in the second half. And they've had a tremendous run since those 2 early losses in the season. There's just no answer today for the offensive firepower of Lawson. I think that makes that so much more effective too for Lawson on offense is that guy right there, number 16, Casnavoy, the quarterback. His ability to throw, great, get out of the pocket. Add that with the dynamic running game. Tell you what, it's a nightmare for any defensive coordinator.
And Casnavoy is out of the ball game. That's it for him. Clock will continue to run. David Miller into the ball game for the Cardinals. Casnavoy, 7 of 13, 99 yards, a touchdown and an interception.
The big one is 15 rushes for 75 yards, and how many of those were in third down situations keep the drives alive.
2nd and 8. 2.5 to play. Up the middle. And another first down. Noblet again. Let's check in at the studio at Game Break and Joel Goldberg.
Plus, we're going to get you ready for the Class 4 championship coming up between Parkway Central and Lee Summit West, guys.
All right, Joel, thanks. 2:20 to go. Handoff. First time today inside the 15. Steven Stadler.
Lawson taking care of business. We talked about they were here a couple years ago. Overwhelmed playing in the dome, excuse me. Worried about the heat maybe. But I'll tell you what, they turned up the heat here quick in the second half, didn't they? And this offense taking advantage of all the turnovers. How about this guy, David Noblet? 3 touchdowns on the day, 4.8 yards per average on the rush. I like that afternoon.
Up the middle, down near the 9-yard line. First carry of the afternoon for John Bellis, 5'7" sophomore.
Yeah, for Blair Oaks, how about number 13, Brandon Otto? He's still going around laying the wood on people. He's popping every play.
New quarterback, by the way, is a sophomore, Taylor Akey. 60 seconds to play. 3rd down and 1 with the ball on the 9. Be close. We'll see if they get the first down. Ball carrier that time, Dustin Priest. He's also a sophomore. Second half offense, Lawson 147 yards and Blair Oaks only 46.
Yeah, you add that with the turnovers, it just makes for such a long afternoon. And again, you saw what the wing tee is about, and at this level in high school, it works out so effectively. But then when you put a quarterback that's dynamic, like Casanavoid is, it just makes it so difficult in terms of being able to come out on a positive end.
Final play of the game. Up the middle it goes. They flip it back to the quarterback. A fumble, but that's it. Lawson has won, and they have their first ever state title. And it comes in 2007 in the Show Me Bowl Class 2.
They make their 12th playoff appearance this year, and they took care of business in the Dome. Coming away with a great victory, dominating all of the whole second half, taking advantage of turnovers. Great win for Lawson.
So Lawson completes the undefeated season. They finish 14-0, and they finish with a state championship.
Yeah, they do. A sweet state championship, and again, able to take control of momentum. First quarter, you were wondering whether they really had the confidence to play the game, but quarterback Casanavoid really came alive, and he led this team and put them on the right track. And again, just domination after that, all aspects of the game.
Todd Dunn, head coach of Lawson, as they finished up the season in the playoffs in the sectional over Carrollton, the quarterfinal over Hogan Prep, and then the semifinal game against East Newton. They've outscored their opponents 463 to 128 this season. They dominate the state title game.
Yeah, they do. And up front, great job by their offensive line. Second half, making adjustments on the defense, not allowing Otto to even become part of the game at all. You saw better tackling and just a much better aggressive tempo setting team in the second half.
So the final 38-17, Lawson defeats Blair Oaks in the state title game. Well, on the other side, disappointing way to finish for Justin Aiken and Blair Oaks. The Falcons will finish their season 11-3 on the year, but Justin Aiken, one of their top performers coming in, only a junior, and he returns for his senior season next year.
Yeah, he does, and he'll be back with a vengeance too. He started off this game on fire, but didn't give him much help after that. Some big touchdown throws to Otto in the first quarter. You saw these guys, you thought they'd be in sync, but after that, the turnovers kind of just cascaded, and they weren't able to get much done after that, after the first quarter of this game. And I'll tell you what, he will be back. These guys understand what it takes to play. Look for him to be back on top again next year.
So second place goes to Blair Oaks. The champions are the Cardinals of Lawson. Let's check in with Jim Hayes.
All right, I am with Coach Dunn. Congratulations. First state championship in school history. How happy are you for your kids?
Well, I can't say. I mean, these guys, they set that goal at the beginning of the year, and they just kept that in mind. They thought they deserved to be here. They thought they would be here at the end, and they showed you what kind of heart they had today.
Great offensive production by your team, but also the defense got a lot of turnovers.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, obviously the turnovers were key there at the end, because we didn't have to defend their offense near as long, because that wasn't going to be an easy task by any means, because they had done some great things. Just so proud of our kids. I can't say enough. Offense, defense, special teams all played a part in that, and every one of the 66 guys played a big part in that win.
How about for you personally? 03, you guys came up short, got to the title game. How sweet is this for you now?
Well, it's huge. I mean, obviously, you know, my dad coached this game for 40 years and never had a chance to get here. And you know, when we came the first time, we thought this could be the last time. I mean, there's no guarantee you're going to get back, and to get back and win one is great. And that's for him. He's done so much for me, and for him to not have a chance to do that, as great a job as he always did, that one's for him.
Coach, congratulations. I know you want to be with your guys, so go ahead. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Dan and Rich.
Congratulations to Todd Dunn and the Lawson Cardinals finish up 14-0. It also helps to have an outstanding quarterback as well. And neat moment there to see a coach get a hug from his dad. Joe Casanavoid, and he was very, very good today.
Oh, he was. You know, the numbers aren't exactly great, but his ability to run and create, get outside of the pocket when things are breaking down, know where to go with the football. I'll tell you what, he's fine open field runner. He's talked about, hey, he's going to Kansas State. He's also a baseball player, too. I can see this guy running the bases in pro baseball for somebody, too. An excellent athlete, and that's what it takes. And we talked about in the stand-up, it was going to be the quarterbacks, and this guy was the catalyst today, Casanavoid, for Lawson.
So game one is in the books of our triple header. Coming up next, Parkway Central, Lee Summit West, and then we'll finish it off with Melville and Rockhurst. We send it to the studio after this timeout on FSN Midwest.
When it comes to going bald, you now have a choice. Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
It is your real hair. It's your natural hair. You wash it, you cut it, you swim with it.
Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration experts, having pioneered virtually every major advancement in the art and science of hair restoration.
I'm very satisfied, very happy with what I've done. This has got to be one of the best decisions I've made in my life, I'll tell you that.
Bosley Hair Restoration is a relatively simple outpatient procedure. The results look completely natural, and it's affordable on nearly any budget. Call the toll-free number now to receive your free, no-obligation information kit that will help you decide if hair restoration at Bosley is right for you. You don't have to accept going bald. Do something about it right now.
Call 1-800-474-9908. That's 1-800-474-9908. Call now.
First game in the books, the Class 2 championships. Plenty of reason to celebrate for Joe Casanavoid and the Lawson Cardinals, their first ever state football title. Congratulations to them as well as Blair Oaks for a nice game, but just couldn't overcome those turnovers. Joel Goldberg back in studio, joined now by Earl Lawson Jr., our high school expert. And, I got to say, Class 2 game here. Some big-time athletes. We were talking with Dane and Hughes before. This was really an exciting, fun game to watch.
Yes, it was. When we watched the first quarter, it was 14-14. Both teams had scored touchdowns. It looked like it was going to be a 42-35 shootout. But to Lawson's credit, they turned up the defensive play physically. They blitzed more and started to force some turnovers. And I think that fumble right before halftime, although Blair Oaks responded and got a field goal out of it, that fumble really turned the tide. I don't think they ever really recovered mentally from it.
Yeah, and so many turnovers over after that. Let's take a look now at some of the highlights. And Earl was talking about early on in the game, and it was just nonstop scoring. Great combination, Justin Eichen to Brandon Otto, and it was 7-0 defending champs Blair Oaks. But Lawson came right back. David Knoblauch, big fullback, pounds it in for a touchdown, 7 apiece. Drive number 2 for the Falcons, starting at their own 20. Kyle Henke breaks free up the middle, finding a hole in the Lawson defense, and Henke was finally brought down, but got 63 yards out of it. And 3 plays later, Eichen looked so good in the first half. The quarterback, beautiful pass to Otto. What a combination that was. And just like that, we've got a 14-7 game. That, though, would be Blair Oaks' last lead. Second quarter, the seesaw battle continues. Knoblauch again, pounding it in with a little bit of a dive as well. 14-14. Under 1 minute to play in the first half. Falcons put the ball on the turf, like Earl just mentioned, and there's a big-time scramble for it. Eventually, Jacob Payne of the Cardinals falls on it. First and goal for Lawson. 3 plays later, it's the bulldozer again. Knoblauch diving in, 21-14, the score. Field goal made it 21-17 at the half. Lawson leading. The fans certainly plenty to cheer about as well. Let's go to the fourth quarter, and the defense very strong throughout. And then the offense taking over. Casanavoid, the star quarterback, 6'6", goes in for the score. On the other side, Blair Oaks, turnovers the story in this one. 7 turnovers in the game. They played for the most part a clean first half, but just too much in the second. And with those turnovers came a lot more offense. And the Lawson Cardinals carrying off their coach Todd Dunn, 38-17 the final, as they end up winning this and their first ever state title. Let's go back out to the Dome right now. Scott Warman catching up with the star quarterback.
All right, thanks, guys. Joseph, congratulations. Great game by you guys.
Thank you very much.
community came together, and they just started turning the ball over and gave us a win. So it was a great game.
What are your emotions right now? You got to be on top of the world right now, I'd imagine.
I was just thinking the whole time why JV was in. Wow, all that hard work in the weight room and the band of brothers and the community just started coming together, and 14-0, and we just it's unbelievable. It still feels like a dream after that last win against East Newton. It just feels like a dream.
You guys were incredible on 3rd and even 4th down today. Why was that?
Well, they were playing off man with their corners, and we knew that we could do hitches or slants or stuff like that. And we never gave up. As you can tell, we just got the 4th down. We never gave up, and we started completing passes, and we could run up the middle on them. So we just kept going, doing our thing.
Being in an environment like this, in a dome, on turf like that, were you guys a little overwhelmed at the beginning?
Yeah, during pregame, we were all like, ooh, ah, and all this stuff. And then once you start sweating, once the game starts going, it just feels like a normal game at Lawson High School or something like that. But the crowd was amazing. Their crowd was amazing. It was just a great atmosphere to play in.
Joseph, congratulations on the job well done. What a way to finish a career, and best of luck in the collegiate level.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, back to you.
Scott, thank you very much. And he, part of a senior class, guys, that had never advanced past the quarterfinals. Now they've got the first ever state football championship for a town about 40 miles outside of Kansas City. Never had one before. They've got one now. What a job by them tonight, guys.
Well, you're right, and I think, you know, if you look at Cassinavoid, he was certainly a difference, but 7 turnovers in this game. When you turn the ball over 7 times, you're really opening the door for problems, and that's really, I think, the story of this game.
It was, and you saw those turnovers taking place, but you could just see the confidence, you could see the body language just going away from Blair Oaks in the second half. And we talked about that right coming back there. We thought turnovers in this game would be a big part of it. It was. It kind of cascaded on the guys, and they just couldn't find any way in terms of stopping that running attack and passing attack of Lawson in the second half.
Blair Oaks, first 2 possessions, they go right down the field, they score. All of a sudden, run into problems. What adjustments do you see with Lawson defensively that changed the tide in this game?
Well, first of all, in about the middle of the second quarter, they really started tightening up coverage. Otto was just having too much of a cushion. He was able to push his routes, simple out routes. He was turning into touchdowns. You couldn't have that. And also what I saw was just a changing of the attitude of Lawson in terms of tackling. And by the end of the game, they were just flying around. And that's what happens in the game. It's all about changing the momentum, capturing it, and they did. And you asked me, coming back after the second half with that field goal, would that make a difference? And I thought maybe it would, but it didn't. Lawson stepped up. They controlled the game the whole second half.
You also have to have individuals that step up, and Cassinavoid was just outstanding today. And we talk about his size. He's 6'6", 215 pounds. He plays on both sides of the football. He caused a turnover. Bunch of things that he did offensively that changed the moment of this game as far as the momentum. He's one of those kind of players that you watch in a Class II state final game. He's head and shoulders literally above everybody else, and he's also a better player than everybody else, too.
And we found out he's also mean, too, and that's the most important thing. And when he runs with the football, he runs with a vengeance. So, I mean, he's a guy who's going to sit back. He can see the field well. They'll continue to work on his arm strength, his accuracy. That will all come. He sees the field well, but the one thing he can do is create. When things are breaking down around him, he gets outside of the pocket. He runs well with the football, and that's what you want to see, and that's what K-State sees in him, and that's why they want him to come play football for
All right, congratulations to Lawson. They win Game 1 of our triple header. We send it back to the studio and Joel.
All right, guys, nice job, and stay tuned throughout the day. We're going to be going all access with the Lawson Cardinals. Our cameras following around the state champs all day. We'll bring that to you later on. We're going to take a break here on FSM Midwest.
High school activities in Missouri.
They add self-confidence and teach responsibility.
They teach fair play and respect.
They support our educational mission.
1, 2, 3. They reward hard work and focus on team.
They challenge me to strive for excellence and support others.
And most importantly, they're fun.
This message provided by the 760 member schools of the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
Electric co-ops don't just generate power. They generate ideas. We also share them. At your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we never stop thinking of ways to help everyone be more energy efficient. New technologies to improve reliability. Opportunities that can benefit us all. We know a single idea can spark hundreds. With all those ideas coming into contact, we can create solutions to whatever challenges come our way.
When Chrysler unveils the most exciting sales event of the year, we want everyone to know about it. Announcing the Chrysler event of a lifetime. For a limited time, get 0% financing on 2008 models, all backed by our lifetime powertrain warranty. That's the best warranty in the business, bar none. But hurry into your Chrysler dealer today, because while the warranty goes on for a lifetime, this event ends soon.
Welcome back to the intermission show, and we're going to be here all day long. Earl Austin Jr., Joel Goldberg. Lots of football still ahead. The Class 4 championship followed this evening by the Class 6 championship, the Class 2 championship in the book as Lawson winning its first ever state title in football. A school that has a wrestling tradition, but they've never been this far in football. To win it all, they get it done, and really very impressive. And, you know, we've talked a lot about, Earl, about Cassinavoid, who was great offensively, also defensively. Turnovers, what a huge difference in this game.
Well, that's a story anytime with football. If you win the turnover battle, you're going to win more often than not. And I think the first couple of turnovers, Hurts with a nice long pass. They put some pressure on the quarterback, and we kind of threw it up for grabs. But the last quarter, the last 3 or 4 turnovers, I think Blair kind of had their dobbers down a little bit. Like I said, that was a turnover. I thought they were going to run the clock out and go into the half tied at 14-14, but the big guy had a great job at the sack, and they were able to get the short field touchdown. Then after that, it just turned into, like I say, a turnover fest. I think Blair just got the spirits down a little bit, and they were just dropping the ball. I think you wouldn't see a team of that caliber just laying it on the ground like that, but things were just kind of got desperate.
No, this is obviously a team that has had a lot of success over the years. Incredible tradition when it comes to football. They were looking for their 3rd state title in 4 years, and it just seems like after a while it started to snowball. 1 turnover, not going to kill you. 7, you've got no chance.
Oh, so you have no chance, not against a team of equal quality like Lawson. And then the turnovers on short field, most of them were, you know, including the one inside the 5-yard line before halftime. It just put Lawson in the 20, 15-yard line, and just 3-4 plays later they're in the end zone, and those are, you can't come back from those.
Lawson completes a 14-0 season, its first ever state title. Let's head back to the Dome, take a listen in to the post-game press conference.
Okay. This is Troy Green. He's our starting tight end, free safety, place kicker. And this is Joseph Cassinavoid, our quarterback, middle linebacker, punter. You know, I don't know what to say. Great win. I'm so proud of these guys. They set the goal, and all through the year, they never got down, never thought they couldn't do it. They had this goal in mind all year, and they just kept plugging. And when people kept telling them they couldn't do it and kept telling them their schedule was weak and all that kind of stuff, they just kept saying they were going to go. They made up their mind to get here, made up their mind to get it done, and they did.
Well, congratulations to Coach Dunn. The first of 3 games today on FSM Midwest, the first of 6 games this weekend in the Show Me Bowl. Each one of those games has a Kansas City school, and the first of them today gets a win for the Kansas City school against the Jefferson City school in them winning that one today.
They're off to a good start, and you're talking about some heavyweights coming up later. Rockhurst tonight, Lee Summit West very good, and obviously Harrisonville with its 40-game winning streak tomorrow. So some very good ball on the western side of the state.
Lots of good ball coming out of the West, and obviously a lot of bragging rights as well. One of the keys today for Lawson in that championship on offense, efficiency on 3rd down, Earl.
And that helps when you have a playmaker calling the signals like Cassinavoid, because he can run at 6'6", 220. You can't bring him down. He's very poised in the pocket and can run for the first down. Look at that. That's 6'6", 220, getting up in the air looking like Chase Kaufman on those for University of Missouri. But then he can throw the football, and he can make some. Look at that Vince Young move right there. Just a little shake that time, and frees himself up. And when you're never really out of it. You know, 3rd 10, just a minor inconvenience, and he can run, throw, just another threat.
Turnovers, 3rd down conversion, and an unbelievable athlete in the field, and the quarterback who will next year be going to Kansas State. I wonder who he thinks is going to win between Kansas and Missouri. He can't say. He's going to one of those.
He's a Wildcat now.
He's a Wildcat. That's all that matters. We're going to take a break. The action does continue all day from the Edward Jones. Then we'll preview some of the other games coming up as well.